G'day everyone, back with some more FGO. Summer Skadi banner has arrived, so let's hope for better luck this time. It's a fourth disaster in a row. Would make me very much sad. Let's start with the tickets. The good news about rolling for supports is that you only really need one of each. There's a first Woo's option. She's actually a fairly interesting servant with some nice team support. She's an AoE, buster, caster. Sort of like George's MP, hers actually turns the enemies into undead, so you can get bonus damage against them. Of course, this being quick counts, can't really say I'll be using it all that much, if at all. But exceptions are made for support, so if I used it as support, then I guess we'll see. Uh-oh, what's happened here? Something. It's a shame this isn't the account that I have Skadi on, or Skaha rather on, because the undead gimmick from Wu, Caster Wu, would be extremely useful, since you could guarantee the bonus damage for her. What's appliances? And varieties. It's always interesting to see what happens to be dropping a lot. 2 multis, 2 woos, spook. That's a good spook. See, this is the appropriate account for that to come along. Kind of surprised that I've gotten to. Pretty sure that's on the second copy on here. Probably. It's interesting that we still seem to be, well, I still seem to be getting a fair amount of 4-star spooks after they've double buffed the rate. I want to say it's, instead of 50%, it's 70% now, which is actually what 5 stars used to be. Until about 2-3 years ago, I think they buffed 5-star rate to 80% instead of 70%. Not that you could have told with the other day's rolls. This is weird. This is still second multi-territory and 3 4-stars. I'm becoming concerned. I can't even really say it's necessarily lucky because again this, well, the angry cat, or angrier cat, is, since she fits this account, but bizarre. I suppose I could go over Wu's kit here if I can pull it up. Watch the wiki and not have updated the banner. Oh, very cool, they have. So first skill is a charisma, a summer charisma, so it's AoE 15% attack up, 15% buster up, and 20% MP gain up, all for 3 turns. 6 turn cooldown. Second skill is an AoE MP drain from the enemies, drains 1 MP gauge from them. Increases the party's damage against undead enemies for 3 turns by 30%, and it's an AoE 20% battery for the team. Third skill will stun all undead enemies for a turn, and it's a 3000 HP AoE heal and debuff cleanse for the party. So she's actually a really good support. And then her AoE MP inflicts undead traits, which activates first, gets bonus damage against man attribute enemies, lowers the enemy defense by 20% for 3 turns. And her overcharge is starting at 10% going to 30% based on overcharge, MP damage up for 1 turn. So it doesn't stack like Astraea's does. Astartes does rather, not Astraea. I've learned something about these cards, that if I look at them at a certain angle, it makes them always appear double-sided to me. It's strange, some kind of optical illusion. It's something about like the in this area of the back of the card. I don't know. Gee. Back archers. This is Buster, right? Yeah. The only account that, I think I said this the other day, but the only account that definitely isn't rolling on any of these banners. Arts account had reason to roll. This account has reason to roll. I'm debating even rolling a wee bit on my main account to see if I can snipe some of Skadi, just so I can guarantee have access to one that has a bloody second 8-pin activated and maxed for Karen. I have a little bit of hope that it'll be easier to find rando summer Scotties that have it maxed, since, you know, she's fairly popular for waifu reasons for people. So, and since she's also a DPS and not just a support, some might be wanting to get higher MP levels. Of course, I have seen like NP5 regular Scotties that didn't have a single 8-pin activated, so, or their MP upgrade for that matter. Makes me sad. Karen's great, but it can be a bit of a bugaboo to deal with the lack of starting charge from your supports. Of course, I guess with the regular Skadi and summer Skadi of my own, it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's my first Jufu. And second. Everybody's seen this, I think. Yeah, we saw that. Okay, over to more D's now. Ragnarok. This account has Bizet, so that's appropriate. I like Bizet over here. Find more excuses to use her. And Von Ulf as well. He's the summer Skadi. You win some, you lose some. It'd be nice to get it over with so I can try another crack at getting Dorman, because there's a lot of servants I have on this account that he would support really well. Like the aforementioned Ronald. That's a quick craft essence. It's got Taigong on it. he's vaguely quickish. He's permanent, isn't he? Yeah, he and Jablinia are both permanent. I recall now. You're looking at Darius the Third. Is that supposed to be a third eye or some sort of jewel or gem? Because if it's the latter, I really wonder about the decision to colour it the exact same as his eyes. But maybe there's something I'm not privy to lore-wise about him. It's not really a character that's piqued my interest to look into all that much, to be honest. I'm getting covering fire a lot. Speaking of Jabrinia, I'm going to fool around and end up with an MLB copy of that one. Let's keep that. Not to be outdone. It irks me to no end that they translated that as poisonous snake instead of venomous. Poison and venom are not the same thing. Is that 4? Yeah, I was mistaken the other day with my count of eddies. I had just barely gotten 5 copies of it. I didn't get 6 like I thought. What a mess that was. It's funny she's coming along so much, but the yellow turban bloke, not so much. And he's the quick one. He's the one that this account would want to come along. I'm not even sure I've even gotten the first copy of him on here. Is that a first one of those? Today. I think I got one friend point summon a couple of days ago, so there's that. Remember to check what that one does. That's, yeah. Should be number 5. I appreciate this 4-star generosity a lot more if this was the New Year's banner on the Buster account, where I'll be trying to get Fujino, and I don't particularly care about the 5-star that's rated up, which is Coin Sky of Dark. I get it, but Flushy would cry if he heard that. Seems like we've entered the assassin period of the roles. Is that a first mineral? Another Chinke. That's interesting. Back-to-back rolls are getting that. Back-to-back minerals. You hate to see it. Ah, good day. So far we're having 4 stars thrown at us, oddly enough. But not like I'm getting Skadi just yet. We've gotten 5 woos and a spook of Adelante Altar, which is actually welcome because she fits this account. Nice. Well, let's just hope it doesn't come back to bite you. Lady Luck can be fickle and all that. It's good, but hopefully not. I don't know how these things are going to work out. Wasn't a bin roll that time. We're getting pretty close to the average amount of quartz rolled for getting a 5-star, so if our luck for 5 stars is average today, she should be coming shortly. If. It's back Alexander's. Probably my most rolled rider on this account. Right, I forgot to check what that does. So with Summer Skadi being a ruler, it's one of those awkward things where, well, it could be a Jean spook, so you can't be excited once you see that gold ruler. Well, you don't have to worry about a silver ruler, of course, but not just that, there's also Estrella. So we can't I do hope she comes along soon. Hopefully this is her. Oh. Fully expected that to be like a Jack spook or something, which I would have mixed feelings about. Since we have Karma on here already, it wouldn't be the most impactful of things. Jack is still really good though, so. I knew you were going to have something to do with quick. Shame you have 4-star and mixed stats. Well, that might be halfway useful. Jack the Ripper. It's basically still Karma that they gave another character such good quick cards and the like. Is that? Remember when Karma Fierce came out? People were going back and forth for a long time over which was better. And generally they still considered Jack better for the longest. And then finally they realized, oh wait, no, Karma's just ungodly broken. Well, it may be overselling a bit, but she's really, really bloody good. To the point where Jack's gotten buffed finally, and Karma's still better. It's a lot closer now, but that's not to say Jack's bad. They're both outstanding. And some of the few assassins that can actually do bloody damage. Because for those of you who are not aware, assassins have that really shafted attack multiplier, where the attack stat you see on their card is not their real attack stat. They have a 0.9 multiplier, so they only get 90% of their actual attack stat. So that's why your assassins do less damage than you feel they should. Hey, there's Zhongjui's. So clearly that's not my first copy. Do you wonder what MP level I have him at now? On the other hand, things like, say, Lancers, Avengers, Rulers, and the like have 1.1 times multiplier, which means they get an extra 10% added onto their whatever their attack stat says. That's why they do ludicrous damage. I believe Berserkers do as well. Most get just 1.0 or whatever you see on the 10 is what you get. Oh, can it be? There we are. There she is. Now let's hope Doman is kinder. Which getting that Jean C played out as a blessing more often than just now, because I get it quite often. Strangely enough, like I've got it MLB'd on one account and like 2 more copies. It's bizarre. Which account is that? It's not even my main account. It's one of the alt accounts, which are significantly newer. Very, very strange. You know, the funniest thing is, I didn't get an excess copy of Wuzachian. Well, roll's not over yet. While doing this, so it worked out just perfectly, getting one Skadi and 5 woos. Isn't that funny? Hey, it's the equivalent of our last rolling attempt, except in a third of the Saint Quartz.
Skadi である。私も水着の霊気とやらに変わってみたぞ。ケルトのスカサハ直伝だ。肌を出すのはいささかなれんが。スカサハ曰く、夏はこういうものらしいからな。何？似合っている？そうか。うん。ありがとうと言っておこう。さて、せっかくの水着霊気だ。一つ夏を盛り上げてやらねばなるまいな。
Now let's. Well, hold on. Hold the phone. Because we ain't done. Alright. I know you're an evil bastard, but hear me out. It'd also be nice to get in. In fact, for new players, I would actually. So. A lot of people decry the whole story rolls. Oh, never roll story, it's a trap. And this is terrible advice to give to new players. For one, they're not even thinking about the reasons why you would roll for story. Okay, so the best 5-star craft essences in the game are Permanent, Kaleidoscope, Fragment of 2030, Black Grail. They're permanent. Now, a lot of people that only roll on event banners and the like, they'll look at these videos and then they'll whine and complain, oh, I can't match this because I don't have a Kaleidoscope, or oh, I don't have Black Grail. Like, let alone MLB, don't have a single copy. And I've been playing for like 3 years. It's like, I just don't have them. It's like, oh, well, so all you do is roll on banners that already have craft essences on radar, so of course you're not going to get them, because you're mostly going to get, when you get a 5-star craft essence, it's most likely going to be the radar one. That actually holds true better than the servers, it feels like. So it's actually a really good thing to do some early rolls on Story Summer on a new account to try and stack some of those Cs. But more than that, a really important thing is Asclepius, who is story locked, unfortunately, but if you can play through, save up some quartz, and get to unlocking him, and then roll and get a copy of him, because he provides some things that are very difficult for a new account to come across. And that is Party Debuff Cleanse, as well as Debuff Immunity, and Guts. It's sort of the equivalent of why Nightingale Archer, Santa Gale, is so bloody good, because where are you, love? This right here. Buff removal resistance. For one, this is a targetable Guts, so there's that. The MP strength up is really nice as well, but this is the big one. At rank 10, this is complete, unless the enemy just has super overkill guarantee remove your buffs, then they're not going to be removed. This saves your bacon on so many games, not least of which are some of the end fights of the story of this very event that's going on. Because there are 2 fights back to back at the end of the story where you get your buffs removed. One of them is because you're fighting Summer Ibuki, and she removes defensive buffs, and then immediately with her MP, so that's a paddling. That's some pain right there. And the other is the alter ego, double alter ego fight. Really underlook this kind of thing. So definitely don't overlook the importance of the story banner and having a chance to get some of the craft essences, the really good ones that are permanent. But you have a minuscule chance of getting when you keep rolling on banners that already have rated up craft essences. Probably quicker to go this way, maybe not. Probably about the same. Alright. Alright, I forgot about his Ascension 3 being locked. So for all those paying attention, once the evocations start opening, make sure to get Santa Gale as soon as she's available. Because there are very few servants in the game that give you access to buff removal resistance. It's like her, it's her, Sonzong. I think Sonzong does. Oh, there's Asclepius. That's good. Dechi. Benienma, that's her actual name, not her nickname. Benienma does... I'm pretty sure you could count them on one hand, is what I'm getting at. Because I think there's a newer one that does as well, but that's still like 4, maybe 5 in the whole game that give you that. And by give you that, I mean can provide it to others, because if there are certain ones that have, say, usually on their invuln, they'll have an invuln and they'll have buff removal resist, and that's a really nice combo, because it means you have to have like invuln PS to get through it, or not at all. Asclepius. See, also the thing about Asclepius is you only really need 1 copy. Like, more copies would be nice, but MP1, MP2 are fine. But he is really helpful. Really overlooked unit. Especially on newer accounts. Which is why it's such a pain that he's story locked so late in the game. I think it's what, lost belt 4? Bugger all. Maybe it's 3.
キャスター、アスクレピオスだ。診察を始めよう。何？どこも悪くない。だったら早く患者を連れてこい。患者の前にいない医者ほど無意味なものはないぞ。
Yes, Asclepius can help with letting Rosh pop off multiple turns. Not on this account though, this is the quick account. And he is the icky buster unit. I think that's the 3rd one of those I've gotten today. That Craft Essence likes me today, it seems. That was on. So unlike the other banner, theoretically there is a world where we can get a silver altar ego card that flashes and turns gold for Dorman, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. As expected. Rush, which took me back to the old one of the was it Girlfest or Hagfest, or was it Nerofest? One of the Fest events that had the Rush challenge quest or exhibition quest rather, where you could just solo it with Mash. It would take a while, and you had to be pretty careful about your sequencing, but it was consistent and it was doable. Anybody remember the Brave Liz exhibition quest on the most recent one of those fests? I think that was Nero Fest, where it was bugged for global until like one day before the event ended, where Brave Liz wasn't getting bonus event damage, so you couldn't solo it with her. And in fact, even just playing it with the full team made it significantly more difficult, since you still want to focus on her to get all the beneficial effects. Good times. Those can be pretty fun events, but if you know, if you have the proper time to actually play them and enjoy them, you know, when there aren't bugs that do silly nonsense like that. Let's go. I actually managed to min turn on my main. I min turned the Glutton exhibition quest, the one with Etchan, where she has a certain amount of fodder enemies next to her, and killing them gives either beneficial effects to you or debuffs, or to her, or vice versa. And then if you don't kill them all, she'll gobble one of them and get a different effect, or rather, yeah, basically, if you played it normally. Oh, another berserk. Oh, you can't laugh. Although, to be fair, it would be pretty devastating to have gotten a 5-star Berserker spook on the arts account. You can ask anyone that rolled for Astarte or Jolter how those Lobo spooks work out for them.
はじめまして。私の名前はガラテアと申します。ええ、分かっております。私を召喚できたということはすなわち、あなた様もピグマリオン王と同じ愛を持っておいでのはず。お互い真実の愛をつかむその時まで、一心にのみを振るうといたしましょう。
Making a lot of assumptions here, love. So Galatea is actually quite good. Just a shame, you know, it's this account. I mean, Lobo's not terrible. I think he recently got buffed again. Like, he's perfectly fine, very usable. What was I saying there? Oh yeah, Galatea, she's... I mean, it's kind of unfortunate she kind of came out with like no fanfare. And then people were like, well, we already have Vlad, who kind of does the same thing. Now, she was better, just outright better than Vlad, even despite all his buffs, but then, like, I think it was exactly a month after she came out on JP, they gave Vlad a new buff that made him better than her. It's still fairly close, but... More? Are you... Come on! Why? Bugger all. At least spook me with a quick unit, for the love of all that's good and hourly. How do I get 2 5-star spooks? In a row? Okay. What is today? What is happening? Oh, it definitely is.
サーバント・アーチャー大軍戦闘モノログユニット珍名を源の為朝戦闘待機中指示
をお初にお目にかかります。節操神名をアシアドーマンと申す奉仕にて陰陽師。クラスはアルターエゴ。あってアルターエゴキャスターではなく、さて奇妙なこともあったものですね。ともあれ以後よろしくお願いいたします。マスター。
I'm brought to mind, or I'm reminded of that one event that involved like cat servants or something, or cat-like servants, and he was counted as one, but then one of the servants that is literally a bloody cat wasn't for some reason. What event was that? Well, I am...
やあ、いらっしゃいだねマスターくん。地道にコツコツやる？それとも盛大にリソースを使う？
I don't know what's going on anymore. At least that one worked out that way so we can laugh about it. But 2 5-star spooks, come on. In a row. Okay, that was in B2. Now Angry Cat can get even angrier. Don't think of it, she may have been the servant that wasn't included on the cat list. Figure that out.
そろそろクエストに戻る？いいよ。その代わり。
Finally got a 5th one in. Only took forever and a day. Incidentally, I highly recommend raising any and all versions of Ku you can find. They're all really good. What else did I have here? Ah. Yep. Right at 5. Let's see if I can find Asclepius. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, this is her from when she was a bit older. The other version, that I have down here somewhere. I'm silly. It wouldn't be on this list. It would be... So clearly I had gotten him before. Oh, there she is. So this version of her is, profile-wise, it's when she was at a quote-unquote peak, which this was the age she like became Empress or whatever. Even though she lasted a while, so the summer variant they decided to have fun, and then because really you could have grabbed her from like any age. I sense a blue archive player in the chat. I forget what I was rolling on that I somehow ended up with MP4K. Bugger all. That's just rude. Oh, if you got a PC, you ought to try grabbing it on emulator. Most people swear by blue stacks, but for some reason, it's what I originally played it on. It's what I'm playing these on, as you could tell by it crashing there. But oh bugger, what was I saying? Yes, we'll play FGR on, but for some reason, a while back, it just quit working for Blue Archive. I'm uncertain why, it just stopped. So then I switched to Moo Player, but then a fairly recent update actually completely broke Moo Player, or rather, it broke the version of Moo Player that I was on. So I did not realize this until after I switched to LD Player, which I've been using since for Blue Archive. There is a newer variant of Moo Player. It's like Moo 12, whereas the one I was using was like 9. So I reckon that the version of 9 is still broken, but 12 works apparently. Oh yeah. It's basically mostly lottery stuff. Mostly. Okay, let's level some Skadi up and skill her up. I haven't even checked my skill max. I should be okay. Famous last words. Where is she? Should be down here at the bottom. Watch. That was 2. Yep. I mean, she's extra class. That should have been expected. Are you already... Hold on. Let me... You know... Shh. Shofu, maybe... How did I miss her when I was doing... because she's at the very bottom, of course. Also, if you tap and hold, you can do this and multi-select, I don't know. I've seen quite a few people that are completely oblivious to that fact.
そろそろクエストに戻る？いいよ。その代わり戻ってきたらまた新しい話。
Curious. Oh, I forgot all about that. Let's go choose. Please, I didn't have this yet. Yeah, what mats? I wonder if these are the same mats for each Valkyrie variant. Variant. Yeah, every time. At least it doesn't. She doesn't crawl over my nerves like she does, like say Greens. He can't stand her. It's hilarious. Now we're cooking with gas. Wait, do I have? Do I have enough here? Let's take 15. Watch the game crash on me again. Might flip this bloody table. Hilda. Hilda is the pink-haired one, right? Oh yeah. Fun fact about right here, voice actress Mikako Komatsu. So the voice actress for Canis and for Sonzong and for that pink Valkyrie is one and the same. She voices all of them. Also, speaking of Canis, you can see that she's grailed to 90 here. And that's because, well, she's one of my favorite servants. And somehow I ended up with her. I forget what I was rolling on. I'm pretty sure it was something I streamed though, so I could probably go back in my archives and look. Oh dear, she leveled up a little, didn't she? Where are you? Yeah, kitty. There you are. I find it hilarious how, well, you'll see when I level her here, but her final ascension art is completely different than any of her ascensions, to the point where when they, this time next year, when they rerun these banners, they actually drop an outfit for her that matches the final ascension because it was so popular. Shame they don't do that kind of thing more often. Like Blue Summer Gamma is still MIA. Despite people clamoring for that for years. Ku still doesn't have his Hawaiian shirt, and people have been frothing in the mouth for that for a very, very long time. It's always a bit of a bugaboo raising extra class servants, since they don't get bonus experience from anything except oh bugger. I should have burnt all this, but I'm going to go through it here. It's not like it's going to give us much QP. See, we're already into the silvers. Oh dear. We seem to be running low on Ember's period. Oh, you've seen my present box. It's not like it matters. Okay, first ascension. On the other hand, ascending them, especially something like rulers, isn't that bad, because it's just 5 per piece. That's much better than 17.
ケルトのスカサ派が言うほど楽なものではないな。なので少しこの姿で休憩しよう。
So it's a relatively cute outfit. So here's my hot take that it seems like most of the internet disagrees with. I don't care for glasses. Not for me. Oh. Beauty. Shame I don't have regular Scar on this account. I do on my main. Or I could pull up and show you. Well, actually, what's on my mind? This shit. I know somebody here has so you see regular Scar, see your stats, see your figure. Now I wonder if anybody has Skadi pulled out. Okay, there's Skadi. Now notice, see, it's the loose flowy dress kind of hides your figure a bit. Here, I'll actually pull up Summer Skadi, it's easier to see the difference. Okay, did I get it here? She's yeah, see, stance is different, and okay, essentially she's a bit pudgier. She has a more hunched shoulder stance, and she's a little more cushiony. So this was intentional on part of the artist Koyama Hirokazu, because he's like, yes, it is Skaha, but it's Skadi in her body, so she's the one behind the wheel. And he basically sees it as Skaha is the warrior. She's out, she's doing things, she's toned and in shape. But Skaha, or Skadi rather, he is, at least the way she's portrayed in Fate, is more of the sheltered princess type. So she would be a little. So he altered the body type to match, basically. Oh, there's a cute little detail.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the leveling now. Uh-oh, funny number.
そうだろう、そうだろう。美しいだろう。似合っているだろう。私は神の女王だからな。当然だ。などと心の底から言えればな。
They really go all in on the details of the fish in the art, it kind of tickles me a bit. Now we can see all three of her ascensions. Interesting that her stance is different in all three of them. Sometimes they can get a bit copy-paste with what they do with them. Rider mats getting a wee bit low. Can't have that. It's funny how, when you first start out, it's the gold mats that you just... a bloody nightmare for you. But then once your account's established, the more and more the common little blue, especially blue gems, and silver pieces and the like.
いや、褒めているのだ。本当に。よく私に付き合ってくれる。
Yeah, this final ascension's the one where people are like, wait a minute, why isn't that playable? So in about a year, it will be. It's basically, well, it's yet again a different pose, but it's moderately close to a recolor of a face sprite, I guess you could say. Let's go back to enhancements. And out of juice. I hate to see it. Now we have to dive into the box a bit. This is fine. We'll just grab the single digit ones. It will clear out space. Yeah, it's not like we need all that much. Since I'm only using her as a support, not a DPS, since I have Karen, there's no real need to overkill it. Rather, we're not going to grail her, that's what I'm getting at. Oh, I need to pick those up eventually. I'm not now because it plays a little animation for each of them and it's a bit tedious to go through. Whatever, that should be enough, hopefully. Oh, I never finished my story about Canis. So I rolled for something on this account, ended up getting a MP4. I don't remember what it was. Wait a minute. Am I just blind? Did I click on the wrong thing? Ah. I'm just blind. So I really like Canis, she's one of my favourite characters. So I was like, well, I got her MP4, and even though this is the quick account, at the time, I didn't have any AoE quick lancers, and there weren't any like Pavati banners or Valkyrie banners coming up or anything like that that I could roll on. And Bradamante is not exactly a very good servant, unfortunately. even after her buffs that they keep giving her, they do nothing to help her, really. I don't know what they're doing with her, honestly.
そろそろ
Okay. So I got MP4 Canis, and I'm like, well, I'll take her up to 90 and I'll grow to 100 eventually, since she's one of my favorites. And I'll just use her from time to time, even though I have no support for her because it's a quick account. Well, then, lo and behold, on the Roma banner, on the Buster account, which I definitely streamed when I was rolling for that lad, Canis was rated up as well. And I ended up getting like 7 copies of it. Okay, it was weird because Roma was rated up, and then Canis, but there were a bunch of other 4 stars rated up. But I only kept getting her. It was absurd. So she eclipsed in P5. So I wasted 2 grails is what I'm getting at. Hell, I even got her on my main at some point. I think that was from GSSR. It was weird. Just bizarre. Also, if you're leveling skills, generally focus the battery first if you're starting out, because that's what's going to... Generally, your MP is going to help more than whatever the effects of the other skills are. More. Again, starting out. I still do it from just habit. I will say, I have mixed feelings on Summer Skadi because effectively, like, she is a better Skadi, if nothing else, than that she still gives 50% quick up, but she also gives the attack up, which regular Skadi doesn't do, except from her MP of all things. You know, that MP that no one uses? Okay, that's not quite true, because those certain exhibition quests and the festivals that spam instant death, like the Gramps fight, and the ones with all the Hassans, then it actually I actually got through those fights thanks to spamming Skadi MP. I borrowed like a Skadi, or I used Skadi rather, and I borrowed Maryland, and I just kept spamming their MPs over and over to protect us from that kind of nonsense. Now she's technically, let's see, yeah, because this is like, it's like a 15% attack, quick, and buster up, and then this is the 50% quick up. So really she's giving like 65% quick up instead of 50 from regular Skadi, plus she's giving the attack up. And, oh, I suppose it's a good point to actually explain why that's important. So, different types of buffs. So you've got card color buffs, then you have attack ups, and then you have like MP damage ups, and then you have special damage modifiers, which... Does she have one? I think she does. Yeah, okay. So she gets special attack damage against lawful enemies. So all of that counts as different types of effects, and they don't stack additively, they multiply together, which means you're getting a much bigger boost out of, say, a 20% attack up and a 30% quick up than if it was just a 50% quick up. That's why that's important. It's actually a significant jump in damage. As for also buffing rather, Buster stuff, they did start coming out with more and more quick units that had big beefy Buster cards as well. Like Summer, say, which I would love to get, but there's yet to be a banner of hers that I could justify rolling on, and it's very sad because I quite like Say. the big 50% block quick up would be the next important one to level, and then the attack up. Right, so one thing, now, some of the mixed feelings is that she doesn't really add anything that regular Skadi didn't, except the attack up, which you could have got that from like your Mystic code, for example. But she did like. Okay, we'll put it this way. Castoria provided ungodly survivability to arts servants. Koyanskaya added reloading into Buster's arsenal and gave them a way to quote-unquote loot through just pure cool like batteries. Summer Skadi doesn't add anything new to Quick, really. But except being just an upgraded version of Skadi herself. But that being said, I more have a complaint of this right here. She still has, just like regular Skadi, she has the block 50% MP battery. I wish that was 30% and say 20% was like on a second skill or something. It would be really nice to break that charge up. That's probably ultimately, if there was something I would want to change about it, it would be that. Because sometimes that extra 50 is just overkill when you could split it into a different wave. Oh, I seem to be running low on some gold cookies for one class. I wish I paid attention to what that was. I'm going to guess Assassin, because Karma gobbled a bunch of it, and then I think I upped Hogan's skill as well. And then Bazette took Assassin stuff as well, so I'm going to say it was probably Assassin. And I can't get her A-pinned yet because I'll have to get her to roughly Bond 5. Where is she here? Oh, it's regular skill. Yeah, so 5 stars, they start at 90, need to get to 120, so it should be right at about Bond 5 will do it. Incidentally, if they're MP2 and you want to get 2 A-pins, you have to get them to Bond 9 to get enough coins. I'll go ahead and slap her on the all support list. Somewhere. This is awkward. I hate to take Ushi Avenger out, but there's nowhere else I can put her. There we are. It feels nice to finally have another quick support though. For Caster Skadi, carrying all that weight on a slobby princess shoulders. I suppose next we need to level Dolmen. If I have enough QP to do it, because I completely forgot. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to get him. I wasn't going to roll much on him. The priority was getting her. But since we've got him, might as well go out of the way. Should be down here at the bottom. Yeah, 5 stars in particular will do that. They slurp up so much. Especially if you start grailing. Honestly though, 4 stars are worse when it comes to grailing because grails aren't based on rarity, they're based on level. Oh, might help if I actually did this. Oopsie daisy. Okay, let's just go ahead and filter out anything except EXP. This could take a while. I'm actually uncertain where these strange numbers like 7, 8, 9 were, because lottery boxes typically give you 1 to like 3. So where do these odd numbers come from? I bet I know. I bet I know. It's from something similar to the way this event has this, like with the farm. Like, see, we're getting the 5-star ones every now and then here. That's where it's coming from. Incidentally, if you were curious, it should be fairly obvious, but the way you want to max them is from bottom to top, because that's where you get the most returns on increased crowd size. I think the total crowd size, once they're all 10, is like 101 times, I believe. Something like that. Can't believe I finally got Galatea and it's on you. I do need to... She can wait. There you are, you rascal. Don't let me burn through all... Oh. We take those. I gotta fit that click outside the box. Joke's on you, I wasn't going to do it in the first place. The ego on this guy. Almost like he's an alter ego or something. What are the odds?
気が変わりましてございます。カルデア召喚式。なんとも面白きもの。
Anyone ever tell you you have a face for radio? I believe there's a little interlude quest or something you have to do to actually unlock his third ascension, which is the only one that's not like eye bleach to look at, so isn't that fun? I don't know if I'll do that on stream or not though. Let's hope a lot of people are rolling for Summer Skadi like I expect they are.
霊気が変わることはありませんな。しかし、霊気が上昇しているのは確かなようだ。
But more than that, I hope they actually max her second Ape. It's like everyone forgets poor Karen. Some may be puzzled why that's so important. I'll try to do this ascension. That's funny, it said that you need to final ascension before that unlocks, but it just said it was unlocked there. So which is it? Okay, so the reason it's important for those that use Karen that you actually get the second Ape in on your supports is because of this fierce skill. She will absorb 10% MP gauge from each of her allies each turn. So that's an extra 20% MP refund per turn, basically. Now, by herself, with her AoE MP, generally she refunds somewhere in the mid-20s of percentage against 3 enemies. Pretty consistently against any enemy type as well. Except maybe, you know, Avengers, but then what do you do in using her against Avengers, you donkey? So it's important that these supports actually have at least 20% standing MP gauge for her to drain from, because 20% because the drain will be on turn 2 and turn 3. Obviously she doesn't get it on turn 1. So that's why. So normally it's like, oh, we'll give them starting charge. Well, if it's an event, like say this one, where the craft essence that you want to be putting on for farming does not have starting gauge, then it's really important that you have monoloading unlocked and maxed, so they just naturally have 20% MP gauge to begin with. Since Karen is extremely underrated, and it seems a lot of people just ignore her completely. Well, people are already lazy with their A-pens, unfortunately, but very few people actually think to... Actually, what is this fight? I think it's roughly a boss fight. Ah. Well. If she's MP2, you can still get the second one, but if not, uh-oh. Well, theoretically, I need to see. Okay, theoretically you could, even at MP1, if you were willing to take her past Bond 10, then you could get 2 A-pins, but going past Bond 10 is a bit of a bugaboo. I actually haven't done it myself yet, but I really should, because each time you do it, it's 30 Saint Quartz for each Bond level past 10 you get. Now, it takes forever and a day to actually get to a new Bond level past 10, but yeah, I'm curious. Oh, also, I'll go ahead and pull him up here. Why? That's interesting. He's just MP1, isn't he? Oh, they got him in MP2. Okay. I was about to say they're trying to 120 this bugger. This right here, this double attack increase for chaotic evil allies is pretty massive amongst all the other stuff he does, intense debuffing and the like. Okay, skills have not. Oh, also, you notice how we'll scroll down. Okay, these people are definitely not on my friends list. But you notice how their MP isn't blacked out like it used to? They kind of snuck that upgrade past us here as well. I feel like no one really talked about it, but they gave us the change where now you can use anyone's MP even if they're not on your friends list, which is extremely helpful. I'm curious. Yeah, she's MP2. No A-pins. I will have to grab it nonetheless. So I want to. I wish there was a way to stop this from alternating. It bugs me. Swap you with Karen. Take, no, not that. This. Ways. I want to. This was it. So this fight, the way it works is wait, you were curious why what? Or was I responding to what you said earlier? Oh, I have these with Bond level. Cool shit down here. Okay. Ah, bugger. I'm already going to run into the issue because she doesn't. Oh, wait. Never mind. Silly me. I can just give a starting charge. How about that? Oh, yeah. They snuck the update in. It may have came during this anniversary in JP, but I feel like it came after. Like on New Year's or something, but I don't know. Alright, so now... Oh, also, with Karen, there's a little trick you can do with one of her passives, this one. When she has a debuff on her, she gets 20% extra attack, and this is multiplicative with card buffs and the like. So you can trigger this several ways. One way is to equip Black Grail on her, because the burn, the end of turn burn on Black Grail, counts as a permanent debuff, so she will just constantly have that extra 20% attack. Alternatively, you can put an Avenger, like this little cutie here, in the back row, because Avengers have a passive where, regardless of where they are, including sub-members, this is important, they decrease the debuff resistance for all their allies, except themselves. So that means even if she's in the back line, she's decreasing everyone in the front line's debuff resistance, just by existing. Also, we'll put her here as backup in case something goes the shape of the pair. Excellent craft essence to go on Ushi Venja, by the way, because her guts can stack with other guts, so you can freely put a gut C on her. It's beautiful. I approve. Okay, we'll swap you out with regular Skadi. She's up here, my dingus. There we are. And you can exist, I guess. I don't know. Switch over to this. We shouldn't need Atlas for this fight. So the reason I'm not just using this like Bizet or Ushi Venja as the main DPS here is because the gimmick in this fight is Torment has damage resist per enemy on the field. So you want to zap them away best you can. Ah, I forgot about that. Well, it's fine. We'll have extra anyway because we have an extra Skadi in the bag. Theoretically, this should be the turn that he has the highest damage resist, so we'll go ahead and throw this one. Incidentally, with Karen's MP animation, you can tell that should break, yeah. You can tell when she's going to get the special animation where she's a baby by whether the heart is chocolate colored or not. It's very rude, man. He already had MPs. What do you do? So, I think... Okay. I'm going to go ahead and swap these out. Now she gets even stronger. Double RT is probably overkill, but I'm going to do it just in case, because as we saw, the Brave Jane was
遠く深く空を歩むまばたきの
pretty
ま
important
どろ
there.
みの後を見た降臨で変えられながら
Oh yeah, that was just a bit of damage.
ラブエロース
Her MP gain off her arts cards isn't well, it's good, not spectacular. I do find it funny how his debuffs keep missing Karen, the one that has the lowest debuff resistance on the team right now. It's truly puzzling. Might as well go all out damage wise.
三つの石えい祈りが深く深く
なんだ
いいでしょうオプションはいかが
確かこうか
See, chocolate, heart, baby Karen.
全く不甲斐ないこれでは来年もまた私の庇護が必要かと
Well, her bond increases quickly. That's good news. Means I can get her bond 5 quickly and get her A pin. Speaking of A pin, I don't know if you saw that, but the Skadi that I borrowed there, the Summer Skadi, they had already started leveling her A pin. It was at 5, whereas when I borrowed it, they didn't even have it unlocked. So in the time it took me to do that fight, they had unlocked it and already got it up to 5.
節操は初めて目にしましたぞ。言うなれば、そう、ドクロエボシアシアドーマン。我が身になぜか取り込みし三つの御霊と真に溶け合ったがごとき馴染みよう。人、獣、神の先に進みし者。いわば羅刹王。ドクロエボシアシアドーマンとでも申しましょうか。などと冗談でございますとも、マスター。
Okay, now back to raising this
ようこ
wanker.
そレオナルド・ダ・ヴィンチの強化ラボへ今日も元気に
If I can find him here. Okay, he's at 80. But he's at 70 going to 80.
行幸行幸。
Oh, I just remembered what his final ascension is. Yeah, I'm not going to be using that. The art-wise. Wait a minute, doesn't he? He has a costume in this event, doesn't he? Suppose I ought to grab that just because I had him. I highly doubt I'll ever use it, but it's the principle of the thing.
節操にあ
So like on my main account, I grab all costumes, even if I have no interest in ever even trying for the servers. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
こちらです。こちらですよ、マスター。節操、いささか高ぶってしまった様子にて。どうです？あなたも共に。はい。ええこれはまあシャレ神戸ですが、そう震えずともよろしい。もちろんもちろん、シュミレーターの嘘偽り、夢がごときものですとも。
I feel a sneeze coming on. Also, let's Okay. Yeah, I like this one better just because, I mean, red's my favorite color. I'll say the first decision is better than the second, I suppose, but it's not really saying a lot. I don't know. They always put these on the servants that are made of multiple deities combined inside of them. Like Sidonai has this as well, and Merlilith and Passion Lip both have it. I believe BB as well. King Potato Chips, Protea has it. But it, like, they could give some effect. Come on, even if it's little. Interesting, here's kind of an evil version of Divinity. That makes sense. Let's finish leveling him here. If I have enough embers. May have to go back and dive in the present box. Almost. There we are. Skill time. If I have enough QP. Yeah, I have enough QP. Probably wouldn't have enough to raise Woo, but that's alright. How many levels did we get him to? 4. Nice. I'd say he's kind of underrated too, just because the whole where he gives several of these field effects. Like that helps a lot of different servants. Of course he's quick and art spot. Of course he could have just been quick, if you ask me. They could have given him a higher quick up instead of splitting it with arts, but I don't know. Lasagna has a hard on for arts, apparently. I still think, I don't know. Her being a budget Castoria to where if you don't have one of your own, you can just borrow one, and effective, at least when it comes to farming, for essentially she fills in perfectly for as a second Castoria for you. With minor exceptions, of course, like say you need uber damage like you do in the 90++s and the like. In that case, you would want regular Castoria, and especially in like boss fights where you need the defense. Wait, is this? Oh no. It's caster and assassin. Will I have enough gold cookies for him? I suppose we'll find out. Oh, it's the caster that I'm right. That's surprising. I'm quite surprised at that. Oh well, that's why Pure Prisms are a thing. One of the best updates that they've given. To their credit, they have been, the past couple years, they've been doing a much better job at providing things that help new accounts starting out, like the Pure Prisms, like all the rewards and stuff from just leveling and ascending servants. like the rewards for every story node and story section that you complete, the mats you get from it and stuff. All that is excellent, excellent work, and none of it was in the game when I started. And even when I started, there were already improvements in the game that significantly improved it from how it was to begin with. Like, they didn't even have daily quests to begin with. The only experiences to raise you, level your servants you got were from random drops in story nodes. You know, all those bronze embers? So you had to level with those. The absolute state. Okay, so I'll need 34.
我ながらいい調整だ。新生ダヴィンチちゃんの
Let's hope I have enough pure prisms, and let's hope I've not raided the caster gold cookies here before. I have. Uh-oh. That's a bit of a bugaboo.
まだ見ていく
Might actually not be able to finish skilling him up due to that. So I better
いや
let's see. This only affects critical strength. What does this do? This is probably more important because it goes with the chaotic evil supporting. I must admit, of all things that I thought I would run out of, caster gems was not on the list, considering I've raised Skadi and I've raised Izumi. What could have possibly taken them all out? Especially that I had already had to dive into the prism shop. I don't think Bezet took them. Gonna be 3 away.
そろそろクエストに戻る
Let's try to get this back to default. Now the question is, where do I slap Dorman here? Because I suppose I could swap regular Ushi with Marie here, and then slap Dorman there, or put Ushi Venger there, since this is what most people will be seeing to begin with. Not do that. Or I could just put Ushi here. Okay. What's... No, this is... Huh. Not sure what craft essence to put on him. He's MP1, so anyone that borrows him probably wouldn't be using him for NPing. So I need to put something supportive, I guess. Maybe a star ball? Yeah, we'll put a star ball on him. Wait. Easy now. Where's Ushi? Do I not have... Oh, I don't. This I need an AoE quick berserker. With CE for berserk. This one? Chocolate Heaven. It's a good one. Origin Bullet. Yeah, it's I don't have it anymore, but there's something better I can put on her. Maybe something with dual buster and quick. That's Invuln Pierce. Incidentally, I was talking about new accounts. This is a handy thing to get on new accounts. If you can, when you're able to squirrel up some rare prisms. Well, it's quick and buster, but it's mixed stats. Quick buster and MP strength, that's fine. Also a little bit extra HP helps her as a berserker anyway, I guess. This is Copium speaking, if you were curious. That's what that is. Oh, I forgot to raise her open. Should probably get on that one of these years. Okay, that's... Oh. Wait, she's there. Right. Okay. I guess Say's not leaving the list. Santa Gale. I think it's important to keep her up in case anyone needs to debuff removal resistance. So I'll swap you out for Skadi. And again I'll swap a... Okay, for now I'll until I get her bond. When I get her bond I'll put a support C on her, but until now I'll just slap a random starting chart C on her. Cope scope. Slap cope scope on her, since Karen has regular scope. Yeah, that looks alright. Probably. Actually, I know something better for you, love. This. MP gain HP recovery amount. You like that stutter? English is only my first language. This is an amazing craft essence. On certain servants like Bagest or Lakshmi Bai. Anything that has a lot of heals on them. Yeah, regular scarp is full attack, coat scarp is 4 HP, so it's good on supports that you want to use their MP. I guess like regular Skadi if you want to use their MP to get the attack up. And you know, if you just don't have it, have a regular scarp, but you need that big bundle of starting gauge, then well, you cope and you use that one even though it doesn't help your attack stat at all. What do I have as assassin? Do I have assassin over here? Ah, Keisha. Yeah, I was raising him. Okay, now I'm going to look through here and try to figure out where my bloody caster mats went, because... Ah. Wait, but I didn't... Did I? Oh, I did. I forgot I did that. Why did I do that? Oh, I remember now. So I did that because... So... When it comes to quick supports, they don't have any longevity supports. They have quick burning supports. Both Scotties are like that. It's basically three turns in a cloud of dust. So in long, protracted, drawn-out fights, any sustain comes from basically what's in the DPS's kit themselves. Now, for some, like Lakshmi Bai or Kukulane, or say some of those that have like heals in their kits and lots of defensive abilities, that's not so bad. But Quick didn't, but for everyone else, not so much. And then I happened to get spooked by Tomomo super early on. I think when I was rolling for this wanker over here. I think that's when I got spooked by it. Mind you, this was like the second banner this account ever rolled on. That's for Save Restore Foe. First one was obviously Skadi, which I re-rolled until I got. Yeah, so if you want to know when this account was made, it was during the Summon campaign where Skadi had a rerun, which I think was her first rerun since she came out. That's when this account and the Arts account was made. And the Buster account was made like 6 months after that. Which was trippy. So I guess that explains it. I've raised 3 5-star casters, mats wise. Well, I didn't fully do her, but 2 out of 3 skills nonetheless. I suppose that makes sense. Oh, and yeah, and this is what I was getting to. So basically, I used Tomomo as a fill-in support to go with Skadi in long drawn-out fights, so I could have some healing, some cooldown reduction, and the like. It actually worked fairly well. But then Santa Martha came out now, and now she plays that role because she has a heal and lots of really good support. Incidentally, she works well with Samu because of the undead here. So basically Santa Martha came and took Tomomo's place on this account. In my defense, when I got Tomomo and I leveled her up like this, or skilled her up on this account, Santa Martha was not a thing. She hadn't came out in JP yet. She did soon after, so I was immediately kicking myself, but how was I to know her? This little cutie's underrated. She's quite good. She was the first quick caster as well. Or first quick, yeah. Yeah, because she was immediately followed up by Santa Martha. So you had your first two quick casters back to back. And the funny thing is, people actually were upset that Santa Martha has a quick MP. And it's like, oh well, that just hurts things because you'd lead off with the MP, and quick is the worst card color to lead off with. But now, thanks to this anniversary, Mighty Chains are a thing. So now quick's actually really good to lead off with. Because generally, you want your Buster or your Arts cards to get more potent effects, so you want them later in the chain. It's funny how things work out. Well, that mystery was solved. Glad you popped up there, because that gave me a thought. I'm uncertain what ascension I want to keep her at. I guess third's fine, because again, I don't care for glasses, and it's cute enough. I like the way the fish get gradually bigger as you go through the ascensions. You're MP1, right? Yeah. Alright, he's got an MP upgrade coming at some point. I forgot about that. I don't remember when, though. I haven't got an 8-pin on her yet because the obvious one is extra attack boost. Well, she's MP2, so I'll be able to get 2 of them regardless once I get her bond up to 9, but that's, as you see, that's a long way away. And she has a 50% battery, and because of that, this one is a bit more awkward. And it's mostly awkward because neither of the Skadis can break up their big 50% charge. That's why if, say, it was split 20-30, then she could say she could have a non-starting engage MP, or CE, have this at 10, use this, and then slap the 30% charge on her, and then boom, you're good to go. Unfortunately, Santa Martha can't help this either because her targetable charge is 20% instead of 30. Shame. However, that being said, lucky day. We've already finished rolling. We're actually wrapping up soon once I stop yapping. However, this last here, with her targetable charge, is 30%, so maybe I will use her on this account. So like I don't have Summer Woo, and she's usable on this account since it's quick. So there she's. Some are you, sorry. Oh yeah, I never finished skilling her out. But alright. Nice work, mate. That's a good all. Yeah, when it comes to Proto Merlin, yeah, it's really awkward. So Marilyn is a good servant, really good. Despite what you may read on like random places, comments, that people thinking he needs a buff, he really doesn't. He's still really good. So an arts version of him is obviously going to be really good, but here's the issue. A lot of the stuff Marilyn provides, basically it comes down to she just... Okay, the only thing that you miss with using her with Castoria versus using Tomomo with Castoria, the difference is the crit support, but arts crits aren't exactly setting the world on fire, you know? Whereas Tomomo's providing, like, they both provide healing and all that. Tomomo's also providing MP damage up, which is another multiplicative time, and even more healing on a targetable arts up. But she's also providing cooldown reduction. And getting your skills back on arts units is really nice. So basically what I'm getting at is, I just don't feel like she provides enough different than already having Tomomo access. Despite how much people like to poo-poo on Tomomo for some reason. They do this because she's old and they just don't use it. But if they did, they'd realize, oh, she's still really good. I mean, like I said, I used her on this account, the quick account, to help in really long, drawn-out fights. And it worked. It worked well, even though she's not a quick support at all. As for Gareth, I feel like she's not as bad as people like to let on, but she certainly isn't spectacular. That being said, it's not like, if you like her, she's perfectly fine to use. It's not like she's going to hurt you using her. Plus, you just use a button. If only we had any kind of luck on your banner. Alright, so I should probably...
最近はシミュレーター技術を応用したサイクルマシンでトレーニングするのがマイブームなんです。今日はブルゴーニュのブドウば優れたマスターには幸運がついて回ると言います。いえ、私が今そのように思ったというか。とにかく資源獲得です、マスター。
Well, I could level Caesar finally, and then next year is Saber Medusa. That's probably the big target next year for this account is Saber Medusa, which admittedly is awkward considering this is the thing. But and this is another servant, Saber Stolfo, who doesn't get enough love. He's really bloody good. Like, he's right there with Okida. In fact, I'd argue he was better than her until she got, like, her latest buffs. Alright, I reckon we'll wind up now, so if you have anybody has any questions about anything about the game, I might be able to help with. Otherwise, I think we'll call it here.
Yeah,
Ended up with one short on that after all. That's interesting. Almost the same amount of the 5-star ones as the 4-star. I got one more 4-star. Let me think. I'll probably keep those for now. Like the way there's 2 blue Bazette C's. Like that. How am I doing on the 4-star C's? Okay, M's maxed. Reminder, if you haven't gotten this MLB yet, do try to do so. It's really good. 30% extra damage against most enemies in the game is really good. That is one of the absolute best 4-star craft essences. Like, this is only outdone as a damage upgrade by things like Black Grail or Honey Lake. Still annoyed they removed this one and replaced it with something worse. Okay, use this one. Didn't get another of it, but I did get the final one of these. I think got an extra. How about that? Didn't think there were any. What on earth? Ah. Didn't get any more of that. I'm still torn in between if this is. I still feel like it's a strict downgrade from this one that they removed. I'm okay with them removing craft essences, but it bugs me when they remove it and replace it with something worse. That's just stupid. Especially considering how many filler, useless craft essences are still in the game. It's really frustrating when they remove the good ones. This is a really nice one to hold on to because this 3 times immunity to debuff can be really clutch in certain fights. Alright, I think that's enough jibber jabber for now.
我ながらいいち
We successfully got both. We got Summer Skadi, we got MP5, Summer Wuzopchin. We got spooked by 2 more 5 stars and then got Dorman right after because he's an actual troll. Where were you when some poor bastard got 4 SSR spooks within the same week? I know where I was. Of course I know him, he's me. But that'll be all for now. Next... What would be next? Yeah, let me check my schedule. Let me attempt to check my schedule. So... For the quick account, I'm torn between being done this year or for trying for either Sinnorikyu or Hyunjul. So Sinnorikyu is the tea granny. She's an AoE berserker. Quick berserker. I suppose I could use one of those. Wait a minute, I have Tomacat and Fran. Now she's significantly better than them. Although Tomacat's pretty good. Tomacat was my starter servant on my main account. So I had her, Mash, and Ushi. And a dream. That was all I had for a long time. All the way through London. Not through the beginning of London, and then I played and got Mash's Ascension in London, and then the event for the Garden of Sinners event came along, the rerun of it rather, and then I added Saber Shiki to the list there. Good times. I basically had that small group of servants for the overwhelming majority of part 1 of the story. Because I had some weird luck when it came to early rolls in there, where I just wouldn't get servants. I didn't get my first copy of Uriel until I was in Babylon. Ditto with Ku. I didn't get a first copy of Ku until I had beaten Solomon. So that's fun. But anyway, so Sinnorikyu is the AoE. She's another option for a kind of universal farmer for quick. Maybe a good thing to grab, since I can't really rely on people doing the rapins. And Hyunjul is a really good AoE assassin. Also quick, obviously. I will be rolling for her, whether it's this year or next, so that's a given. It's just a matter of whether I go for Tea Granny or not. How much do we have here? Left over 564, and I'm about, in like 5 days, I'm about to get 30 more from the login bonuses. So we should have around 750 counting tickets and quartz by then. I do want to save most of it for getting a head start on saving for Saber Medusa next year though. So we'll see how that goes. So that's the quick account. Main account is done until Melusine and Oberon come back. I need to try to get Oberon on there, and maybe a couple more. Well, the issue here is I've done all my free quests. pretty much exhausted all the interludes and strengthens for the most part available on these accounts. There's not a lot of SQ grinding I got left in me, unfortunately, on these accounts. But you get quite a bit as long as you just log in and, you know, play. It's nowhere near as generous as Blue Archive, though. I'll tell you that much. Okay, we'll put it this way. So pity in this game is 900 Saint points. It probably takes 2/3 of a year of getting every quartz and tick that you possibly can. So about 9 months is probably what it would take to actually get to that amount. With the exception of like anniversary bonuses and such. In Blue Archive, so in Blue Archive, their equivalent of pity is sparking, and basically in 200 rolls you get, so every time you roll you get a point, a summon point. When you get 200 of those, you can just click into a menu and then it'll list off the students that are on radar at the time, and you can just pick one, and I'm going to summon that one right now. So kind of like, honestly, what they should do with these USOs, something like that, I guess. So you just gotta pick one. And here's the thing, that doesn't go away if, say, so right now, Dressako and Makoto and Iroha are on banner on Blue Archive. So say you're rolling for Dressako and you end up getting her. Well, you can still go to 200 rolls and then grab her again, or you can grab Makoto or Iroha. Either one. It doesn't go away like on this one. There's also the fact that 200 rolls, so that takes 24,000 Pyroxy, which is their equivalent of Saint Quartz. So remember, I said probably about 8-9 months in this game, starting from 0 to hit 900 again. Probably. That's honestly probably being lenient. In Blue Archive, 2 months. Honestly, by this point it's less, but we'll say we'll be less forgiving and say 2 months to reach enough for Spark. So in the time it takes you to get 900 quartz in FGO, you could have 4 Sparks and halfway to another in Blue Archive. That's not even counting that the rates are completely different, because the equivalent of SSR's 5 stars in FGO would be 3 stars in Blue Archive. Well, as we well know, the rate for 5 stars in this game is 1%. The rate for 3 stars in Blue Archive is 3%, which is what the rate of 4 stars is in this game. Oh, and it gets better. On Fest banners, which is starting next week, next week in Blue Archive is the 3.5 anniversary Fest. Oh, no, it's it's just 3rd anniversary. So kind of like how FGO has fairly big celebrations on New Year's and anniversary, which are roughly 6 months apart. Blue Archive has basically 2 festivals every 6 months, and during the banners during those fests have double rates, so it's 6% chance for a 3 star as opposed to 3. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, where was I looking? Arts account is done until Draco for next year. That's probably a third of the way into next year. Buster is good until Musashi. I'll try to at least get her MP2. That's the big one, just getting her MP2, because she's got an upgraded MP. That's a massive leap in efficacy. But and then New Year's for Fujino. That's probably the big one for Buster next. I have another shot at rolling for Gilgamesh next year. I should have done it this year, but I completely blanked. Like, his banner was up, I'd look at it every now and then, I'd be like, I feel like I'm forgetting something important. And then after it ended, I was like, it's like, oh wait a minute, I was going to roll for Gilgamesh on my Buster account. Because I don't have, my only AoE archer is Reisman. And he's not bad, but you need something with a little pack of a little more heat than Reisman. He can't be. I guess there's a Rush too, but he's a one-hitter quitter, as they say. Well, it looks like it's going to be a while for the next FGO rolling stream. Unless I want to switch to my main account and see if I can luck sack Summer Skadi. Let me double check and see how much I got on that. If I can get blue stacks to load. It's alright. 661. With 13 tickets. Okay, let me double check. So main accounts, mostly were 8 events. I'll tell you what. For now, I'll roll 10 tickets. Just see if we luck stack. I'll just because the Okida banner. So basically, there's Melisyn and Oberyn. I already have MP2 and Melisyn, so the priority would be getting Oberyn for it. But then there's Okida. The Okida banner is really good because it has Okida, which I'd love more copies of. See, basically my three favorite favorites in the entire game: Mordred, and then Nobu and Okida are sort of tied for second, or second, third, whatever you want to count it. Then you get into things like Barghest and Canis and Lakshmi Bai and Fujino, and you get the idea. Bushi Venger. Canis, say. Well, this Okida banner that's going to rerun has Summer Okida rated up as well. Jet Kita. Sorry. It's an excellent chance to get her. Another copy of that. That's probably the worst of the generic with a permanent 5-star card up craft essences, because it's just extra Buster attack. But Buster is the worst card color buff. Now the reason for this is because all it does is increase damage, whereas an arts buff increases damage and MP gain. A quick buff, and this last one is sort of why they're bad to get quick. Quick buff is technically the best card color buff because it increases damage, MP gain, and star gem. Incidentally, quick also has the highest damage scaling on their MPs. So there's a little fun fact for you. You no. You're taking the piss. You're having a laugh.
Skasaha Skadi である。私も水着の霊気とやらに変わってみたぞ。ケルトのスカサハ直伝だ。肌を出すのはいささか慣れんが。スカサハ曰く夏はこういうものらしいからな。何？似合っている？そうか。うん。ありがとうと言っておこう。さて、せっかくの水着霊気だ。一つ夏を盛り上げてやらねばなるまいな。
So I'm not crazy, right? That just happened. So I'm stunned for several reasons. I'll be honest, I fully expected, oh, this is gonna be John, isn't it? It's gonna be John again. Or is this gonna be like my 8th, 9th, maybe 10th copy of Australia? I forget, what am I on you? See, I have 2 of those A pins. The bonds are yellow. 110. Okay, so that's 80 coins from there. I'll just hold off a second. It'd be 1, right? Yeah. John's underrated. It's mostly okay. Certain servants are really good. It's just they don't do things quickly. What they do takes a while. And most people don't have the patience for that kind of playstyle. But you can still slap Mash, John, and like Hans on a team and just last forever until you just card down a boss with paper cuts. Alright, the last GSSR I did, I ended up getting a second copy of this. Rascal. So, she has a really good kit. Her damage is abysmal though, and a lot of it is due to her super low attack stat. But they could fix every one of these problems if they would just upgrade her MP. She would be really solid then. But they've yet to do so. Shame, really. Yeah, that'll be happening a lot. The enemy doing 0 damage. Especially if they keep buffing Hans, and he was already really bloody good. Well, now I guess I gotta level and skill up this son of Skadi too. Let's have the salty run back as I bite me tongue. Ow! This right here. Me having her on here and my analness about not trying to overlap servants, with the exception of supports, across accounts, because it kind of eliminates the entire point I made the alt accounts. But me having her on here has really bit me in the bum hard on my Buster account when it comes to archers, because she's not pretty much, she is the best AoE Buster archer. That's right, I rate her higher than Gilgamesh, even. And a lot of that comes down to she has a 50% battery, he doesn't. Like, damage-wise, sure, against servants, he's going to outdo her, everything else being equal. However, she's also giving herself a mountain of crit stars every time she MPs. And she even gives, crit strength up. Her crits are going to hit a lot harder. So it's kind of... Also, she can give herself inborn pierce, so that's also a thing. But because I have her on here, it's basically Gilgamesh or bust for AoE Buster Archer. And like I said earlier, I keep bloody forgetting to actually roll when he's up, because I'm a dingus. That's interesting. What's my other? She's getting grailed as soon as I can. This was my first big, uh-oh, this is going to be a rough year for rolls. Because I just about had to pity to get one copy of it. It was a disaster. It made me very sad. Melt's one of my favorites as well. What MP levels do I have you on? I'm guessing 3, yeah. Both the main and quick account have her at 3. What's I even doing? This came from GSSR, I didn't actually roll for him. All my accounts are free to play, including this one with the exception of I did... Okay, basically I got one pack and did GSSRs with it. Like... Yeah, so this is, for all intents and purposes, still free to play, because it's not like I've gotten anything from any of the GSSRs that I rolled on that really did anything, unfortunately. Find a Lancer. We haven't gotten her buff yet. She's an interesting one. She's significantly better than Baldy, who got overpraised something fierce back in the day, but still not spectacular, unfortunately. When and how? And not only did I get her, I raised her. It's not in the world. Okay, enough dilly-dallying. Where's... I didn't recall getting her either. Now here's one that I won't necessarily say flew under the radar, because okay, the people that like her really like her, but then other people don't even know who she is. Basically if you know who she is, you really like her. But if like FGO is the only Fate content they've ever looked at, then they're probably indifferent for the most part. That being said, that's character-wise. Gameplay-wise, she's actually really stout. So she's a Pretender, which I guess they're just officially renaming the Faker class of the Pretender, which, to be fair, seems pretty obvious. So Pretenders are the anti-alter ego. So they counter Knight classes as opposed to Cavalry classes, like alter egos do. But she counters well, for 3 out of 5 turns, she counters casters as well, because she pretends to be a rider, so to speak. So at least, yeah, she gains both offensive and defensive advantage against casters. So essentially, she's Pretender plus rider for, well, I guess it's 3 out of 6 turns, because the cooldown will go down to 6. She also has one of those big old classic batteries that essentially full charges her gauge once it's ranked up. I think it goes up to 80%. So not quite something like Medea or something, where it's, or Nidocris, where it's 100%. She decreases arts and buster card resistance, so she just makes most of her deck better, because I think she's double buster, double arch. Can't bloody speak. Do I have the foes on hand? No. Bugger. Hold on.
そろそろ
Hold on. I can never remember which one is which one levels the HP and which one levels the attack. Okay, this is HP. Oops.
ふふんなんだ
And this is attack. How often? I'll go ahead and do these as well. Oh, I seem to have misclicked something. Well, that wasn't very nice. Blue stacks crashed on me. You hate to see it. Let's get you right as rain again. So for the second time we can witness the son of Skadi being raised. Okay. Well, for one, we know what foes we need more of now. I don't suppose I have any. Okay, I guess that made up the difference. Right here. Oh yeah, I need to do that. I keep forgetting to. I want Mordred to get a buff to probably this skill that adds guts, because lore-wise she's supposed to have guts. See, they keep having this issue where the 5-star AoE Buster Sabers, they all play the exact bloody same way. They all do the same thing. Like, Artoria sort of wins out because she gave herself attack up, and now she gives herself MP damage up as well, so now she double wins. And then Altera does the same, so they're up there together. But then you have Mordred, and you have Arthur lagging behind. But regardless, they all essentially do the same thing. Big AoE buster damage, big crits. It's like, how about we start differentiating them a wee bit and give her guts, make her survivable, because even right now, this is such a massive defense up for a turn that she can survive some NPs with it. So let's give her some more survival. Let's lean into that a bit. Let's give her guts so she can play a little recklessly, and even that. Let's do something with it where when the guts is popped, it gives her an attack up. So then now she gets multiplicative damage by herself, giving herself an attack up or an MP damage up when the guts is popped. Let the guts stack with other guts, so you can use a gut C on her. I'm begging you, somebody, lasagna, come on. Be a lot of fun. Okay. Enough copium, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's get back to doing this nonsense. Alright, she leveled up. Where are you? Oh, I need to level them as well. Completely forgot about that. There she is.
Ma yoi. Yurusu. Ma. Ma.
As if I'm not running out of any mats here. Caster mats. See, I understand my arts account running out of caster mats because, I mean, have you seen art servants? Have you seen the amount of casters? It's a mess.
ケルトのスカサ派が言うほど楽なものではないな。なので少しこの姿で休憩しよう。
Assassin and Lancer getting a bit low. Oh, Archer too. Yay to see it.
何かなんだ、もう霊気再臨か。と、まだ姿は変わらんな。
You know, even besides having her here to guarantee I have access to one with second A-pin. I call it second A-pin, it's mono loading. Even guaranteeing I have access to one with mono loading at all time for Karen. It's nice to have her just because I have plenty of quick servers on this account that I really like. That she would work very well with, so.
Ma yoi. Ma yoi. You.
We gotta listen to her being a dork again.
似合っているだろう。私は神の女王だからな。当然だ。などと心の底から言えればな。まあ。
Looks like my gold monuments are okay. It's just the silver ones that are a pain. Which makes sense because the later game you get, unfortunately, the less of those that you can get to drop, to where they start becoming the issue as opposed to the rarer mat, quote unquote rarer mats. Yay to see it. Would have been nice if they would have super interesting breeding up in the same spot. I suppose that's to be expected considering. Wait a minute. I haven't picked up my inverse from here yet. That should solve that issue. Should. 14 of them, yeah, I reckon that should do it. Where is she? There she is. Notice caster's still the lowest amount of gems on this account even. Casters are just so gem hungry. It's really good that they're more recently starting to branch out and make supports in other classes, because caster mats are just a nightmare for people overall. I remember those Genesis eggs being a bloody nightmare early on. I remember having to grind a bunch out for Castoria and someone else. But the best node for farming them is one, not... Well, at the time it wasn't exactly an easy node. But also, the drops rate was like 12%. Which is actually on the higher end for the gold mats, but it did not feel that. It didn't feel very pretty, I'll tell you that much. MP2 now, so I'll be able to get it. I'm gonna go and do this. While I'm thinking of it. Ah, that's why I didn't do it, because she takes the fairy scales. And at the time I was paranoid, since I got so many of the fairy knights in Morgan. I was paranoid I wouldn't have enough for all of them. Luckily, they ended up growing on trees for me. There we go. And, oh, huh. I'll hold off on that for now. Just double check that I'm not forgetting anyone else that I want to. Only reason I haven't maxed his out is because I mostly stick with using him on the quick account, since that's the one where he's fully kitted out, railed to 100 and all that. He's a monster at 70, at 100 he's ludicrous. Doesn't seem anyone all that pressing. Maybe. Should have got that a long time ago. Most of these I'm just uncertain. Well, most of these rather, I'm uncertain about which one to unlock, which one would be best to unlock. For example, since she has a 40% battery, interestingly enough, just unlocking the mana loading is good enough for her, really, since it basically turns it into a 50% battery, at least initially, for the first turn. And for anything you're going to solo with, this is really good. And anything that gets anti-berserker damage is really nice. That's a really good passive to have, because you just start melding those buggers. And berserkers can get dangerous real quick if you're not careful. Why did those stop it? Oh, I think I ran out of QP back when I was leveling these. I just forgot. I'm running low now, so I'll stop here for certain. Let's go ahead and get some Skadi on the support list somewhere. Actually, let's not, because I will swap her in instead of regular Skadi once I get her second 8 bend, once I get her mana loading. Because right now I specifically have her here for my quick account to make use of. So that brings us to... Okay, so this is Buster. This is Arts. Even though she's mostly Buster, let's be honest. So this is Quick. And lo and behold, we can go ahead and put her here. Oh, this is already Quick and Buster Crafts. Also, I was going to, when I was going to show the different figures between Skaha and Skadi, I was going to switch to this account since especially now, it's easier to show the difference. The figure. So this is a 30% battery. I suppose see, this is awkward because mana loading it seems an obvious one. Since, you know, 30% battery, that'll make it 50% initially. But since she's such a good soloer, this is so good on her. She is MP2, which means I can't get both of them without having to go past Bond 10. And I will be rolling for more copies in the future as I'm able. Ditto for Okito here. I actually wouldn't mind trying to get more copies of these two, but things keep not working out for that sort of thing. But alright, now that we've officially been dumbstruck by bullshit luck, I reckon we can finally end the stream. So hope you enjoyed, and see you next week for double sparking on the Blue Archive Festival banner. So until then, hope you enjoyed and see you next time.